poke the Lucian and disengage, and I would try to poke the Lucian out because he didn't come back to lane with very much sustain. He only came back with 1 health pot and he has BF sword. So you can trade with him. You can trade with him, but not engage on him because you have more sustain over him. Okay, so that ward, I'm going to talk about that really quick. You know for a fact that Lucian at around 6:57 minutes is going to be back up on the blue side of his map because his jungle buff is going to spawn again. So you really, that's a wasted ward. Like you don't need to ward that until a couple minutes later because you know that he's going blue buff if he doesn't want to lose it to his red buff. Because your jungler has a potential to counter jungle him. You know that he's not going to be down on your side of the map while his blue buff is up, most likely. So I wouldn't waste your trinket ward there. I would wait probably 1 or 2 minutes just to ward. Because having vision when you need vision is more important than having vision when you don't. Just essentially. So you're doing a good job of playing pretty far back in this lane, and that's smart. Yeah, see, good job. That was good. You saved your tumble and didn't last hit with it. You saved your tumble to dodge the Leona E, which you need to be doing at this point in the lane, because if she gets on you, you're probably dead. Okay, so here, Lucian isn't in the potential to follow up right now, and that can sometimes bait you into an unfavorable situation because he has his E to gap close, which he will do. So I wouldn't even aggress on this Leona at all, especially now that she's been bubbled. I would just run. I wouldn't try to fight at all. That was good. That was smart. And you can use that Nami debuff to trade some damage back onto them, and then condemn him right here. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You don't want to be fighting an all-out engage with their AD carry just because he has more damage than you. And even though Leona's not in a position to follow up with you, Nami doesn't have her bubble on cooldown to help with the Lucian. And so I wouldn't be fighting this necessarily. I would have just eat him back after I put a lot of damage on him and not necessarily try to take damage in return. Like you fought for too long such that the Leona was able to get on you. And just recognize the fact that they have a major item advantage, and you shouldn't be fighting any kind of extended trade with them, just because they'll win that. Like 9 times out of 10, with that item advantage, even though you're Vayne, they'll win that extended trade. Just because he has way more damage than you, and he's Lucian. I'm gonna see out here. Are you tumbling to get back to lane? I would use my tumble a couple times in lane just to try to get back. Also, 5 health pots is a little bit. Okay, here's what I want to talk about. I think 5 health pots is a wasted buy right here. I think I would only come back to lane with 2 or 3, and the reason that I say that is because Lucian and Leona aren't going to be poking you such that you need a lot of health pots to survive the lane. It's not like Lucian. Lulu or something like that. Like 5 health pots, if you use them and pop them and get engaged on, like Lucian and Leona want to all in you and they want to kill you outright as soon as they all in you, and health pots aren't really going to save you from that. I mean, you could obviously 1 or 2 is good to have just so you can have one ticking during a trade, but 5 is a little bit much. I wouldn't have bought 5 there. It's wasted gold since they're not they don't have a whole lot of poke, and they just want to all in you. Yeah, your Nami shouldn't be pushing right here. That's silly. I don't understand why she's doing that. So, right here, this is kind of a tough situation for you because the wave is already kind of in a semi not exactly favorable place. Like you want it to be further back here. And since the Nami's been auto attacking, you didn't have as many, or they didn't have as many creeps stacked up. So that's kind of on her. But right here, you have 2 choices. You can either shove the lane as hard as you can into tower and then back. But the problem with that is, and the reason that I would caution against that right now, is because Vayne can't shove very fast. And so by the time you get done killing this wave, their wave is probably already going to be like right around here. and you have the potential to accidentally, by trying to shove really, really fast with Vayne because they've backed, freeze it in a very unfavorable spot for you. And so what I would do here is I would just last it. And also your Nami doesn't need to be taking. Yeah, I would just last it. I would just last it here. That's the wave can get fed to tower, but that by the same token, like the wave is probably gonna freeze and not a good spot for you guys, such that you can get denied. And so by shoving it, you're setting yourself up to get denied. Yeah. Okay. So, uh, I wouldn't be pushed up this far without vision on Tribrush, just because when you have vision on Tribrush, you can start backing off when the Wukong gets right here. But if you start backing off when the Wukong gets right here, since he has so many gap closers, like, it almost can be a guaranteed kill for them. Oh, that was also a wasted spell. When you saw the Nami bubble coming out, I would not have condemned. I would have saved your condemn for right as soon as the Wukong ults you. Because if you condemn the Wukong as soon as he starts his ult animation, he's not going to hit you with it. Also, I have no idea what your Vi is doing. Yeah. A bigger part of the problem of this game is your Darius has 12 CS to Jace's 73. And that's bad. That was well played by you, though. Like, you were getting dove, and you made the best out of the situation that you could have. I'm gonna rewind just to talk about the health pots thing. Yeah, so Nami died there, right? And possibly because you didn't save your condemn to condemn him backward. Okay, so they burst out the Vi. They burst out the Vi right here, and you do a good job of ulting right when you need to. That's smart. And I would wait to auto attack. See, now that you're stealth, you have a couple or you have like a second of stealth. I would wait to auto attack until the stealth expires, just because you want as much time stealth under this tower as possible. Because the more time stealth you are under this tower, means the less they can hit you, means the more tower damage they have to take. Also, don't waste your condemn like that. Like that's kind of a panic thing. But if you would just reposition yourself to either condemn him here into the not either. Just if you would reposition yourself such that you could have condemned him into the tower, you would have gotten out too, even though you died. You might have gotten out. And at that point, I don't think I would flash. I probably wouldn't have flashed. Like, that's just a wasted summoner because he's gonna be doing the same amount of damage to you anyway, and a flash isn't gonna dodge the auto attack that was gonna kill you. That was good of you to. Let's see what summoners. Yeah, that was good of you. You didn't necessarily need to waste flash, but that was a good play under tower to get that double kill for them diving you. Yeah, Boots 2 is a good buy. You want to be able to dodge Leona's skill shots and run away. I agree. I definitely agree with that buy. Having a mobility advantage over Lucian is pretty good in lane just because You need to be able to get away from him, especially now that you have blood, or now that he has a bloodthirster over you. I definitely agree with that buy. That's smart. This, however, is another situation where I would recommend going Bloodthirster Vayne. And the reason that I say this is because Bork Vayne wants to all-in people. Like, they just want to brawl people. And you can't fight this lane. Like, if you were super ahead, you maybe could. But even then, it's pretty tough to fight a Leona Lucian. So I would opt for Bloodthirster and more poke. Since this lane isn't bringing any sustain, I would opt for the Bloodthirster build and max your tumble and just try to poke them out of lane since they don't have any sustain. Because Bloodthirster is better for poking than Bork is. And yeah, so buying Bork like kind of it pigeonholes you into your strength being like an all-in, in which you can't win since their lane or the lane matchup is what it is. That's smart to back off there. Leona can just kill you. I would ward that right now. Yeah, you can't be up that far. That was smart of like thing I want to talk about is Leona brings the ability to stun lock you for about 3 seconds, maybe 4. And so if you're in a position to get engaged, or if you're in a position to get hit by any of her shit outside of your tower range, you're in a position to be killed, especially since Lucian has Bloodthirster. So I would just not even be close enough to her at all for her to do anything. Because she can kill you whether or not you think she can. She can kill you right here, she can kill you right here, she can kill you right here. Because the Lucian can follow up with his E, and she can stun lock you for 4 seconds, which is enough time for him to burst you. Yeah, but for some reason your Darius is just getting absolutely obliterated. And that's bad. Like, that's really bad. 23 CS is the 20 minutes, or 12 minutes is absolutely a fucking abysmal. So, I mean, that kind of, your work is cut out for you. I mean, you guys are doing not fantastic bottom lane, but okay, so here, once the Vi is engaged on Leona, you have vision on her, and you should assume that since it's around 12 minutes, like recognize the fact that Wukong is probably going to be in his jungle farming his major camps again. So I mean that's kind of a gamble because they're not always going to go straight for their major camps, but you can assume with a certain level of confidence that since the timing or because of the time that he's not going to be down here, and again that's a gamble. It's like medium risk, high reward. And so what you want to do here is you want to try to get your Nami to all in this Lucian right here while the Leona is over here. Like, she needs to put her E on you earlier than that, and she needs to get on the Lucian.